Hello everyone, greetings from Singapore, and first of all, welcome to all the friends who have tuned in, especially those of our friends from Hong Kong and Vietnam, and also around for the region. Very quickly first, my name is Minh Yen. I'm from Global Cultural Alliance, and I'll be a host for the evening. And so we are from Singapore, and I think before I go any further, just quickly where we are. This is actually Hillside 1820. We are in a black and white bungalow which is nearly 100 years old on the slopes of Mount Faber that we run as an art center here up in Singapore. So we're in a very historical setting, and we're really greatly honored and privileged to be able to do so. And also for tonight, this is a very special event to take place, especially during this time of the pandemic, when, as you know, in various countries around the region, there's a lot of movement restriction, movement control, and limited number of people allowed in different places. And I think more poignantly and importantly, it's been very difficult for friends and families across ocean to see one another. And to be able to have this program tonight, which is a collaboration between Hong Kong and Singapore musicians, it is a great privilege to be able to share the music between Hong Kong musicians and Singapore musicians with you. Tonight's program, titled Flow, Notes Between Hong Kong and Singapore, essentially is a collaboration between musicians from Hong Kong and Singapore. And this has been a very unique collaboration, for this is something that's been going on, discussion and some work that's been going on for the last 2 years. And also for me, personally, it's been quite supposed meaningful and emotional, because I'm working with musicians I've worked with since before the pandemic began in 2018. And here in Singapore, I've been working with musicians whom I've known for a very long time. And before anything else, I think first of all, with me, I'm very pleased to introduce from Singapore, I have Chok Kerong, a wonderful pianist. I have Ben Poh on the bass, and I have Aaron on the drums. Kerong, would you say a few words of hello first?
Hello everybody. All of us are very happy to be here, and we're quite excited to be able to play some music and share some music we've made together with our Hong Kong counterparts with you today. So we hope you enjoy the show.
Okay, thanks Kerong. And now over to our friends in Hong Kong. I'm very, very, very pleased to have with us here now in Hong Kong, which I'll introduce in a short while, which is 𝘼 𝙈𝙤𝙘 on the harmonica, Timothy Sun on the piano, and Joyce on the piano. So over to you, Joyce, Timothy, and 𝘼.
Hello.
Hi, Minh Yen. Thank you for your kind words. So again, this is Joyce, and this is Leo, and this is Tim Sun. We're from Hong Kong, and we're from Music Lab.
Okay. Hi, Joyce, Timothy, and 𝘼. Actually, as a quick background, as I mentioned, way back in 2019, we had a great pleasure of actually working with Joyce in February when she was just a pianist with a group, and then finally we had a great pleasure to present 𝘼 and Timothy from Music Lab in a concert here and in Victoria Theatre, which went very well. And actually, since then, we've been wanting very much to continue this collaboration, and we've decided that we're not going to let anything, even a pandemic, stop this conversation and friendship going. And on this note, by this collaboration, as I mentioned earlier, for quite some time now, our organization here in Singapore, Global Cultural Alliance, we've been working. We had the great pleasure and honor to work with the Hong Kong Economic Trade Office here in Singapore to continue relationships, cultural relationships between Hong Kong and Singapore, and especially music ones. In 2019, we worked, as I said, we worked with the Music Lab for performances here, and we felt that any form of relationship should not be just a one-off, but it should be continuous regardless of whatever circumstances we face. But of course, all this will only be possible with support from proper agencies and authorities. And in this, we are truly grateful that the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office in Singapore has been greatly supportive of relationships between Hong Kong and Singapore, especially in the cultural field. The Hong Kong ETO supported us when we worked with Music Lab in 2019 in 2 concerts here. And so given this pandemic, earlier last year in June, Hong Kong ETO also worked with us to present webinars in dialogue between Singapore and Hong Kong, and we were glad to feature one of the founding members of Music Lab, the pianist KJ Wong, in a discussion and dialogue. And now to have this opportunity to begin a new year, 2021, with this exchange is something really very meaningful. And without much further ado, I'd like to introduce the director of the Hong Kong ETO here in Singapore, Mr. Wong Chun To say a few words. Mr. Wong, please.
Thank you, Meng Yan. CY, Timothy, and Joyce in Hong Kong, Kerong, Aaron, and Benjamin here in Singapore, and of course friends from Hong Kong, Singapore, and the rest of ASEAN region. Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us online tonight. We have survived an unusual 2020 and overcome many challenges arising from the COVID-19 pandemic. The past year is especially tough for the arts and cultural sector. Physical performance were kept to the minimum, if not suspended. On the other hand, many musicians in Hong Kong and Singapore, being very resilient and creative, turned to the digital platform to continue their performance and connect to a new and wider audience. The Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office in Singapore has been committed to promoting Hong Kong's arts and cultural art exchanges to our friends in the region. Over the years, we have worked with different partners in showcasing Hong Kong cultural talents in Singapore, as well as fostering cultural exchanges. To keep the Hong Kong-Singapore connection flowing and growing despite the travel restrictions, this time we have decided to make good use of the technology to bring you the live streaming of a music collaboration which you can enjoy at home. I am very delighted to present you three passionate young musicians from Hong Kong. They are, of course, as Meng Yan has mentioned, no strangers to the Singaporean audience. We are very happy that in the 2021, they are the first batch of talents we supported by our office. The collaboration and exchanges with these three talented musicians from Singapore this time is another step forward for ties and friendship between the two cities. I will also have to say a big thank you again to Meng Yan, the Global Cultural Alliance, the executive producer of tonight's concert, for making this event a reality. And many thanks to the three musicians in Singapore who are very passionate to work with their counterparts in Hong Kong as well. I wish the concert a great success and everyone will have a great evening this time. Thank you very much. Thank you, Meng Yan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wong, and thank you to the Hong Kong ETO for this, continued support of such a relationship between Hong Kong and Singapore. All right, this is how the evening will go. We would start off first with a performance from our friends in Hong Kong, following which there will be a performance from our friends here in Singapore, and then we will share a collaborative music video, which we'll talk more about later, and then we'll have a performance from our friends in Hong Kong. And after which, we will have a Q&A session. Those of you are pleased, there's a chat on YouTube. You could please send your comments. We always welcome encouraging comments and questions related to music and music collaboration, especially how do we make meaningful music during a time when there's so much, we are physically separated, but yet there's digital technology. And how do we keep up with this? Because digital technology is shifting so fast, people pick up very fast. How can we keep ourselves new and innovative and meaningful and relevant all the time? So that's how the flow will be. Now, this being a cultural exchange, I should say a few words in Hong Kong. 但係咧，我真係唔敢啲朋友喺香港咧，我就真係唔敢講太多廣府話啦。我啲廣府就唔係睇得太好啦。咁我希望我可以繼續講英文啊。Okay, so I'll continue in English. I think above all, I hope you're keeping warm. I know it's winter in Hong Kong still, and it's cold there, so please keep warm as you watch this program. And here in Singapore, yep, it's 25 degrees. So please keep warm too. And without much further ado, I'm so pleased to present to you CY, Joyce, and Timothy. It's really great seeing you again. So over to you in Hong Kong.
Okay. Thank you, Meng Yan. Thanks again from the Hong Kong ETO, as well as Meng Yan from Global Cultural Alliance for having us. We are so extremely honored and just excited to play some music finally at the beginning of 2021. So we have prepared two pieces for you all in this section. So the first one is A Mindful of Things, a composition of mine that was written about 2 years ago, commissioned for Smash, actually a group that consists of Timothy, Leo, as well as KJ. And the second tune would be, let's pass on to Leo.
The second tune we are going to play is one of the pieces I wrote during a really enjoyable time in Europe. And that time was actually an invitation by ETO as well. So once again, thank you ETO for giving us such an opportunity to perform. And I remember I was in Paris, and this tune is called Paris as well. So without further ado, let's hear it. This is A Mindful of Things.
CY, Joyce, and Timothy for taking us all the way on this cool and rainy night here in Singapore to Paris. It's really wonderful to hear this again, live in a way. I still remember your performance of this work in Singapore in 2019. And Joyce, I'm so happy to hear you play again. And of course, Timothy, nice to see you and to listen to you again. And okay, I could admit I'm a bit partial here because of my own piano background. I always enjoy hearing Joyce play. I remember the first time hearing her in 2019 in a performance also presented by the ETO here. I was very struck that she managed to include some figurations from classical pieces and quotations in her playing, and it really struck me very, very much. And I always enjoyed hearing her play. And it's, I think, good to begin an evening to remind us of our mindful of things. Thanks very much, CY, Joyce, and Timothy. It's really glad to, to listen to you all to begin the year. I think it's my first music performance for the year, and so glad to begin it with you all. Okay, so here in Singapore, I've got three people very, very meaningful to me. First is Chok Kerong on the keyboard. I've known Kerong since 2003, 17 years ago, and I was just stunned when I worked with him for a performance at Esplanade, and it's taken me 17 years to work with him again, and I'm so grateful for this. It takes a pandemic for us to work together. I've always been very taken by the colors that he draws on the keyboard. I've known 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 since 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 is actually he was one of the great prodigy drummers when he was growing up, and he's still one of the most exciting young talents. And I always have the great honor of working also both with 𝙤𝙤𝙤 and his father, and it's really, really great, to be able to do this with him. I'm working with Ben for the first time, but I'm so glad to at least meet Ben and to see all three of you tonight here. So, okay, without much further ado, I'll pass the time over to all three of you. So, Kerong, the show is yours.
Thanks very much, Ming Yen. We'd like to share a piece of mine with you all. This is entitled Literacy, and it was written at a time when I was struggling to learn a new language within music. So this piece was a result of that struggle. I play it differently now compared to when I first wrote it, but I think it still reminds me of a time, a very exciting time in my life, when I was discovering a lot of new things and trying to figure out a lot of things that I didn't understand. So I think, as artists, we can all relate to that feeling. So we hope you enjoy this. This is called Literacy.
The thing about music is that after you listen to music, it's very hard to talk about it. Thanks so much, Kerong, Aaron, and Ben, for this. The work which Kerong has mentioned, aptly titled Literacy, about him when he wrote this when he was learning a new language, a new musical language, exploring new musical sounds, I think totally applies. And as a listener, I'm always learning something new whenever I listen to Kerong play, and of course Aaron and Ben. And so thank you very much, those of you who have been keying comments. Thanks very, very much for your encouragement, and your comments, and I'm really glad that you're enjoying this evening. And also thanks friends from Malaysia and I think Vietnam and especially Hong Kong who have been tuning in. Really thank you very much for taking time on this Friday evening for this. And okay, as I said, please, if you have questions on the music, keep them coming in, and we can have Kerong and Aaron and Ben talk more about this work later on. Now, coming up next, as I mentioned, we have something very special for your music video created towards the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, based on a work written by 𝘼 and Joyce. And what is unusual about this work is that it's something titled Trapped in cities, which we really are, and how the files were transferred to one another, and the whole process of recording here, passing it back to Hong Kong, filming here, and passing it to Hong Kong, and the discussion. And the work Trapped in Cities, it's aptly titled, not because we're just trapped in cities, but as I saw the first cut of the video, that melody, the opening tune, the opening refrain kept playing in my mind at 1 o'clock at night, and 𝘼 is responsible for me not getting any sleep because of his melody. And so, enough talking about music, over to you, 𝘼, Joyce, and Timothy on Trapped in Cities, and perhaps you can say something about it, and then we can see the video. Thank you.
Playing and wonderful introduction of the Trapped in the Cities. So maybe we can name it Trapped in the Head now. Well, this piece of composition is really exciting for myself, especially because I will be leaving Hong Kong in 2 weeks' time. So this is probably my last production in Hong Kong, like last single production. And it's such a pleasure writing this, producing this together with Joyce. And also because this is also my first time working on a single, working on music that is with overseas collaboration, which makes it even more memorable for me. And maybe we can start off by talking about how we come up with the musical idea.
Sure. Talking about the process of writing, it's my first time co-writing anything.
Really?
With anybody, so pleasure's mine. So Leo came to my studio the other day around, I think 3 weeks ago, and we sat together, we listened to some references, and we know that we have to create a piece where we need to pass on to this. We need to, like, you know, there's a lot of back and forth with Singaporean musicians. So we need to think about how the music can make sense, you know, because it's easy for us to fill in everything, but the key point of collaboration is to leave space for other people to fill in whatever they think the music needs. So I guess that's like a big challenge for us as well.
Definitely.
And I have to say we had so much fun, and it's such a wonderful surprise to hear what the Singaporean musicians have to offer, and it's been so much fun.
Yes, especially the back and forth with the Singaporean musician, because without like us being present there, there has to be some discrepancy between the understanding towards the music, and it is so such a pleasure to work with Kerong, where with a such open mind and talented, of course, musical ideas. Just a bunch of ideas to offers for us during the back and forth process. And also, I think another really special thing about this production is the videography. Actually, our videographer is here tonight.
You want to come in and
you
say like a
like
quick
say
hi?
hi to us. Yes, this is Isaac. Yes.
In fact, this guy has been working non-stop, I think, for the past like 48 hours, like producing versions and versions of new cuts. It was very last minute, you know, the whole thing from composition until recording, and then us getting the track to Singapore and then having them record and do the video at the same day. And then Isaac here miraculously finished the job like I don't know how he does it, even without sleep.
Exactly.
He's like alive and well right now.
Yes. And so in the video, you can see footage from Hong Kong and footage from Singapore. So you feel like we are actually doing it as a team together, but then we are actually separated, doing it separately. So it's gonna be such an enjoyable piece of work to watch.
So shall we see it?
Yes.
Let's.
CY and Timothy, and of course Isaac, thank you so much for this, and thanks to all of you who have written comments. It's truly encouraging. I'll share it later. Yep, that's what I've been working on. What we have been working on actually in the last week of the last 2 weeks of the previous year and now into this year. And yes, it's true. I've been receiving texts from Isaac at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and 5 a.m. I think there was one morning at 5 a.m. and that was really, wow. Okay, I had to catch up with Isaac. Isaac, please make sure you get some sleep. And as you have seen, okay, I must also say, Isaac, you're terrible. You have made me nostalgic for Hong Kong. I miss my family there. I haven't seen them for a year. So thank you very much for the nostalgia and the heartache. Anyway, okay, I think before that, they're just over here in Singapore. Kerong and Aaron and Ben, would you like to say a bit about the collaboration? We have heard from our friends in Hong Kong. Would you like to say something and share your thoughts on the collaboration?
I think it was a really fun process. One of the things I enjoy about collaboration is hearing other people's points of view and trying to find the middle ground. And sometimes the middle ground is something that you might not have envisioned by yourself. But when you talk things out with your collaborators and try to figure out what the music needs together, sometimes you can find combinations that might not have been obvious to you. So I really appreciated that part of the collaboration. Yeah, that was the big thing for me. So thank you, CY, Joyce, Tim.
Okay, thanks, Kerong. Aaron, would you say something, because you added the whole rhythm to yeah.
Hi everyone. I think the biggest thing for me is that we get coming out to play music after months of like lockdown. Kerong and Ben, I like to play with them, so thank you for getting me on the thing, and thank you guys for like allowing me to contribute. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Aaron. And Ben, would you like to say something about the bass line?
Yeah, I mean, just like to add on to what Aaron said. I think it's pretty amazing that we get to do this collaboration in this context, and yeah, and it's just the fact that we've never, if not, I don't actually know. I don't think we know. Me and Aaron know the guys over in Hong Kong, but we communicate through the music, and I think that's pretty good.
Okay, thanks, Ben, and actually thanks for the reminder. It just actually occurred to me that it's true. Neither Aaron nor Ben had met CY, Joyce, or Timothy before, and I know, of course, Kerong has toured with Timothy. So actually, it's quite unusual to make this work, without having some of them met before. Okay, now to the last final work for the evening, and after that we have some questions really coming in. We should look at the questions. I'll pass it over to our friends in Hong Kong, aptly with a work titled Flow. So over to you, Joyce, Timothy, and CY.
Thank you, Mingyan. Thank you, Kerong, and Aaron and Benjamin. It's definitely a pleasure working with you all. The last piece we have for you all tonight is titled Flow, a song that I wrote, actually also commissioned for Smash around 2 years ago, same as Mindful of Things. Miraculously, this title is also the title of our show tonight. And I wrote this piece to remind myself not to refrain from letting musical ideas flow. I guess it's almost like how we're doing this show. We're not really thinking about barriers. We're not really thinking about how COVID prevents us from making music, but we took one step forward and make this collaboration happen, which I still think it's pretty amazing. So I really do hope you guys would enjoy the piece we have for you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce, 𝙤𝙤, and Timothy, for flow. And Joyce, as you mentioned when you began your piece, we took the title for this concert actually after your work, Flow. So I have to admit that. So yeah, thanks very much. We felt it really kind of encapsulated what we wanted to do. So really, thank you very much. All right. For all those of you who have been tuning in online, thank you so much for your wonderful comments and encouraging comments, and we truly appreciate it. And okay, actually there are two questions. One is a longer question and one is a shorter question. So I think I'll take the longer question first. And this question actually is specifically for Aaron. But I guess I think if anybody else would like to add in also, you may please do so. And Aaron, the question is this: is about drums in a work, and the question is this: drums usually don't have much a melodic feature, unlike the other instruments. Are there special features or styles when creating the drum sections for a piece, or are there some fun ideas? Once again, drums usually don't have much melodic function like other instruments. So are there special features or styles when creating the drum section for a work, or are there some fun ideas? Would you like to share what how to do what you do and all that? Yeah, and maybe demonstrate.
Hello, checking. Yeah. I guess, actually, drums is a melodic instrument to me. So, yeah, maybe we can start with that. So, I always like to go with what the music needs. So, like for Kerong's music, it requires a certain, a certain energy or a certain feeling to the music, and I try to hear drumistic melodies that might fit the situation. Fun ideas, nothing in specific, but you can do fun things like playing in unison or playing in contrast, and there are 1,000 ways you can do each of those things, and that could be fun. Yeah.
Show something fun or demonstrate something?
I don't think this is a very demonstrable thing, but I hear my drums as melodies. I sing the melodies as well. So I guess you could try that. Whoever is asking, that would be fun. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much, Aaron. Actually, for reminding us. Thanks very much for reminding us that drum percussion as melodic instruments. Okay, I was wondering, would anyone like to add to that? Timothy, Joyce, or 𝙤𝙤, do you want to know anything about drums in writing a piece, or by envision it? You left the drum section to us in Singapore, so I was wondering, we'd like to address this question. Okay, thanks very much, CY, for elaborating on that. And yes, when this video, you can access it again, so you can listen to it, to how it goes. And the other question is a much shorter question, and the question is, will Trapped in the Cities be available on Spotify?
Actually, we were just discussing this yesterday about the artwork. Then we figured there's one scene captured by Isaac was really cool.
Okay,
We're going to use that, and we will probably plug it on Spotify within a week's time. Within a few weeks' time. Yes.
Okay, so thanks, CY, Joyce, and Timothy, and Kerong, Aaron, and Ben. Okay, so do look out for this when it does come on Spotify. Okay, let me see if there are any other questions. All right, I get the bottom questions, and we've been doing this. We've been with us for an hour already, and we try to encourage all to be here, especially, I think more importantly, the comments have come in. I think we really appreciate all of you who have enjoyed the spontaneity and collaboration of the musicianships and the collaboration. A lot of comments have come in there. We truly appreciate this. I think, it's one of the online, and for all of you all who have been staying with us, we appreciate this. I think, okay, before we close the evening, I was wondering do we have any words from Singapore side? Kerong, Aaron, and Ben, is anything you'd like to say to the friends who are tuning in from Malaysia, from Hong Kong, and to our friends in Hong Kong? Any words you'd like to share?
Well, first of all, thanks for listening. Thanks for thanks for your interest in our music, and of course, I hope this is not the last time that CY, Joyce, and Tim, and all of us get to collaborate again. So we hope for the next one. Thanks for tuning in.
Aaron, anything you'd like to Okay, Ben? Okay, I think from Aaron from Singapore, CY, Joyce, and Timothy, 我覺得好感動，可以同你去合作多一次，希望仲有許多機會嚟繼續合作啊，同埋最重要咧，希望可以大家真係可以見面。It's very, I think, important. Music is a physical thing, and we do hope that the next time we collaborate, the six of us will be in a physical space. So over to you, Joyce, CY, and Timothy, for any closing remarks before we close for the evening.
In reply to Kerong's comment, I hope this is the last time that we have to do like an online collaboration. I want to make music with you guys physically instead of in this space. I mean, it's pretty amazing that this happened, but I really do miss, performing on the stage and collaborating and traveling with, musicians and stuff. I guess that sums up our night pretty well. Again, we'd like to thank you, Ming-Yen, from the Global Cultural Alliance, for, doing all the putting together both of our parties to work on this project together, as well as the Hong Kong ETO for lining us up. And I really hope that when we get to make music again, it's with a proper stage. And I really do miss playing music live, same as Leo and Tim here. So thank you again.
Okay, thanks Joyce, Tim and Leo. Thanks Aaron, Benjamin, and Kerong. And I think above all, thanks very, very much to the Hong Kong ETO here for the support, without which this would not have been possible. Thank you for believing in the importance of, I think, above all, people-to-people relationship and friendship, despite the fact that we can't meet physically. Thank you for supporting this. We do hope that this can continue. To all the friends who have tuned in, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. And I think, as Joyce and Kerong has mentioned, we hope that the next time the six of us, the six of you all meet, will be on stage. And we certainly wish that this collaboration will continue for performances and encounters are meant more than just to be one-off, but to be meant for a lifetime. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you, Hong Kong ETO, for making this possible. All right, please keep warm. Friends in Hong Kong, please stay safe. And keep healthy. We want to see you all definitely. All right, thank you very much.